Welcome to the Rewire and Thrive podcast. I am your host, Laura Stiles, clinical hypnotherapist and parent coach at the Mindful Generation. You're in the right place if you're ready to transform your mind, break cycles, and reclaim your power for a life of purpose and freedom. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope you've had a good week. This episode is going to be a nice short one, and it's all about ditching the doom scrolling and just reducing time used on our phones. So I recently put something on my Instagram stories, which was all about how I work with mums who are very time poor. I don't think I've worked with anyone who doesn't say that they are time poor. But a lot of them also mention that they tend to be on their phone a lot, and it's almost like it's just a habit. They pick it up a lot. They end up scrolling at times of the day where they wish that they were either resting without looking at a screen, or when they want to be fully present with their children, or when they could be getting other things done. And they get that, and I get also that it's important to have some downtime. And also it's frustrating that everything these days is on our phones, such as apps from the school, uploading homework and things like that are often done on our phones, which can be really quite annoying. And so often we go to pick up our phones to do a task and end up just opening Instagram or TikTok or whatever it might be. And then you just get stuck in that kind of junk dopamine hit, and it just goes on for way longer than you anticipated. So this is really just a quick chat about that and how these mums are always juggling. You know, the clients I work with are always on, their brains are just always switched on. They feel stressed quite a lot of the time. A lot of them have already reached burnout, and they're spending these decent chunks of times on their phones. And I get it, like I have so been there, and I actually recently went through a phase of doing this myself and feeling really guilty afterwards, because I knew that I was picking it up at times where I should have been with my kids, and it's because we were out of routine a little bit. So it's quite hard to stick with those healthy habits because our phones are just designed to be so addictive. But what's happening is our phones are giving us these little hits of dopamine, and it distracts us from the mental load. And a lot of the time it's like numbing us out when things feel hard. So sometimes it could be that your children are arguing or they're stressing you out and they've triggered you, and you just reach for your phone to go and scroll and just to numb out and get away from it all. And something I heard recently was quite interesting. It said that we do this subconsciously to find the answers because, you know, years ago when we would have had our village and our sense of community around us, we would have had all those women around us like aunties and matriarchs of the family and grandmothers and cousins who would have helped us to find the answers and support us in our parenting and on our motherhood journey. And because we don't have that village around us anymore, often when we are going through stressful situations with our children, we pick up our phones to find the answers and the support and find that village that lives in there. So yeah, that really resonated with me when I read that. What's happening is it's become like an automatic reflex. We pick up our phones, tap on the app, we get this hit, but then it just keeps going. We keep scrolling, and you know, the dopamine keeps coming, and afterwards can feel really, really rubbish. And we can feel really disconnected, unproductive, and then suddenly guilt and shame is coming in and making us feel even worse. It's like we've wasted all of this time, and it's time that we feel like we didn't even have. And if that sounds familiar to you, I'm going to be starting a challenge next week, and it's called Ditch the Scroll, and it's literally a 3-day challenge, exactly what it says on the tin. Very simple, and if people are really into it, then I might extend it depending on what people want to do. But it's going to just be tiny but powerful challenges each day that help you to reset your relationship with your phone. It's to help you to feel more present, reclaim your time, improve your focus, and actually make space for the things that nourish you. And I think for a lot of us, it feels like we may not be fully present with our children and maybe even our partners as much as we'd like to be. And so this is an opportunity to find that time. So if the timing isn't quite right for you to do it next week, that's fine. I can still ping you the information and the support that I'm going to put out there, and you can just do it at a time that suits you. There's going to be a short guided hypnosis audio that I've recorded for it, and also some other tips that will be included in the emails, and a little bit of knowledgeable kind of education-based stuff to do with the brain that explains all about what's happening when we get addicted in that scroll hole. So if you're feeling stuck in the scroll hole most days and you really want to just gently climb out of that, then come and join us. It starts on Monday. You'll get a very early email Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that you can dip into that any time of the day, have a little read of it. It's going to be short and sweet, and it will just give you the tools that you need to support you to reduce that phone time, but also claim some of that time back for yourself, that much needed, precious time that you so crave. And this isn't about making up rules that don't suit you. It's not about restricting you and making you feel like you can't do something that brings you joy, perhaps, or, you know, getting the things done that you need to do that live on your phone. That's all good. You'll still get to do that. It's up to you how you want to run this. But if you do find that there's perhaps an hour of your day that you'd like to get back, and I said this on my socials the other day, it's an hour a day that you could be spending on average scrolling or just doing mindless stuff. Imagine if you got that back 7 days a week. That's seven hours a week. That's quite a lot of time. You could get the things done that you've been meaning to do for weeks. Let's say, for example, you've been trying to, I don't know, redecorate something at home or have a big declutter or clean the car inside and out. That's something that I haven't done for ages. Or just spend more time with the kids. Like I said, just the fully present time with kids, which it's like we've forgotten how to do that a little bit these days. I've seen parents, like the other day I was at the play park and there was a parent with 2 kids, and honestly, no judgment here, but they were just literally looking at their phone the whole time. But their younger one just kept wanting to get their parents' attention and play with them. And I mean, to be fair, the mum was probably trying to get some stuff done. She was probably thinking, look, the play park is going to be the place where they can, you know, have a bit of fun and it will entertain them while I get some stuff done on my phone. So I do get that. But I suppose there's some times where if we are just mindlessly scrolling, imagine what you could be missing that your child is doing, like things that we could be noticing that we don't usually notice. And on top of that, what your children are getting from you in terms of like, what message are they getting when you're sitting there just staring at your phone the whole time? Have you ever been on your phone and you've looked up and your child is, you know, trying to make eye contact with you or trying to get your attention about something? Have you ever felt like that guilt? I've had this feeling where I'm like, oh my goodness, like they literally just want to get my attention and all they can see is me holding this phone. So yeah, it's what we model to our kids. And as someone who has such a big interest in, you know, children not having smartphones from a young age, as a regional leader for the Smartphone Free Childhood, I'm obviously very invested and feel like an advocate for the parents who really want to hold off on allowing their kids to have access to those apps that are created for adults and that kind of thing. It does start with us, though, for us to be a healthy model to our kids and not be literally glued to our phones the entire time during family time. That's where it starts. And so, yeah, this is the reason why I think the Ditch the Scroll challenge would be a really good place to start. As I said, we're starting small. It's just 3 days of just seeing how we can rewire some of those habits. And don't get me wrong, like rewiring habits sometimes can take a little bit of time, and it takes a lot of noticing. It takes a lot of awareness and curiosity. Sometimes you'll go to pick up your phone, and if you stop yourself and think, why am I doing that? And it's literally just out of habit. It's just because you did that the same time yesterday after you'd finished the thing you've just finished today. You know, it's often just autopilot. In fact, I would say 95% of the time it's autopilot because that's how our brains work. So yeah, recreating new habits. And that's why the emails will be handy, because I will be sharing tips on how to try and recreate new habits. One of the things I will probably mention is trying to go to bed without having your phone anywhere nearby at all. So, you know, sleep habits, wake habits are a really good place to start. Starting our day with very healthy wake habits, as in opening the blinds, getting real sunlight in our eyes, making our beds and having a wash and brushing our teeth, that kind of thing. All of that, those little mini dopamine hits that we get from making the bed and tidying the bed and making ourselves look presentable for the day, all of that makes us feel so good, and that is intrinsic natural reward and little hits of dopamine that you get without the huge spikes. If you were to pick up your phone, instead of opening the blind and making the bed and getting ready for the day, picking up the phone first and getting that blue light in your eyes before you've even looked at the real sunshine out the window, and that's just not a healthy way to start your day. And the way we start our day sets the tone for the rest of the day, and that's why it's important. So this is a taster of the sorts of things I'm going to talk about in the emails. And this whole thing is also a little bit of a taster of what I support with in my programs. So if I do have clients that come to me and mindless scrolling and bad phone habits are part of their reality and they wish to change that, then this is something we address in my programs as well at a deeper level. So this is hopefully going to help a lot. If you're interested, please drop me a DM on my Instagram, which is @themindfulgeneration, and I'll make sure that you're involved. And yeah, we can ditch the scroll together early next week. And as I said, I might extend it to the full week if people are interested. But the whole idea of it is to have a bit of a reset and just create some new healthier habits around your phone usage. So if you're feeling stuck in a scroll hole most days and you want to climb out, come and join us, because you deserve better than doom scrolls and digital burnout. All right, let's reset together. As I said, DM me if you want to get involved. And I'm very excited about clawing back a load of time. It's not that I was in a really bad place with it, but I definitely had got a little bit worse over half term. So what else do I have to report? Nothing really. I've had a lovely week this week of lots of connection time with really lovely women. Just much needed connection time. I went to a sound bath and hypnosis evening a couple of nights ago. I saw my best mate in Cirencester yesterday with her lovely little family. And then I went to a lovely female founder networking event today in Bath, which was very lovely and so nice to meet some new people. And I realised recently that I haven't done enough of this. And I don't mean networking, I mean just seeing other humans in real life, like-minded people, good conversations. I just haven't been doing enough of that this year. So I'm going to make more of an effort to, now that we're in June, the summer months are where we kind of have our energy back and our creativity, and we want to kind of be connected to people again a bit more. So I'm going to be doing much more of that over the coming months. And I've got some really exciting things coming up, which I'm just really happy about. So I am going to love you and leave you now. Thank you for tuning in. If you have a minute to like, share, subscribe, or review this podcast, that would be amazing, and I would truly appreciate it. Until next time, have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time. Bye.